Hey guys, Adam Frimmer here from DIYPhotography.net. We're here with Joost at the Irix booth here at PPE 2019. We're going to talk about the new Cine line setup from Irix. Check it out.
DIY Photography's coverage of PhotoPlus 2019 is sponsored by Luminar, an AI-powered photo editor. PhotoPlus, immerse yourself in the world of photo and video. Cozy Speed, the fastest camera bags in the world. And Spiffy Gear, lighting for storytellers.
So Joost, we have a new lineup, a new set of lenses from Irix, a Cine line.
Yeah, so most people will know us from dedicated still lenses. We came out with the 15mm 2.4 in 2015, big while back. People always used to say like, oh, they look so cinematic and like in colors and contrast, but also the design. And we got us thinking like, well, we can work on this, and something always in the back of our minds. And so we came out with the 150 T3.0. It's a 1:1 macro lens, I think a couple of months ago, and we introduced the 11mm T4.3 at IBC 2019, and just here at the show a couple of days ago, we introduced the 45 T1.5. They all cover a full frame sensor, so like a 5D Mark IV sensor, but also larger, say, for example, Sony Venice. They come in Sony E-mount, Micro Four Thirds, Canon EF, and REPL.
So a lot of things that are new here. Tell us a little bit about what's the transition phase between stills and Cine lenses. What's the difference between them?
So the optics are the same. What we really focused on is the housing and the workflow. So for filmmakers, it's really important that you don't lose time, for example. So say you have a shoulder rig set up and you want to switch from, for example, your 45 to an 11 for whatever reason. So you don't want to have to like redistribute the weight on that. So if you swap these lenses, they're all within like almost 100 grams difference from each other. They all weigh about 2 pounds, around 1.1 kilo. So if you swap them for on a gimbal, for example, you have to only like minimally change the distribution. Same goes for all Cine standards, like your matte box. They're all 95mm at the front for your matte box, but also your standard 0.8 pitch on both the aperture and the follow focus is the same on all the lenses.
Cool, and I see they all have similar features, such as the little adapter to mount the lens.
Yeah, the mount is on all lenses, available to put it on the bottom and the top, and of course you get one with your purchase.
Awesome. Also, tell me about these teeth. I see they're a little bit different than normal.
Yeah, I'll show you here on the 45. So there is this adaptive ring here on the side which moves. It doesn't do anything optically, it's just for convenience. So this ring is rounded off on both sides. So what we're trying to do is fill in a gap between photographers and filmmakers. We see as a trend that a lot of photographers try and do the video work, or there's filmmakers who want to shoot with only, for example, on an A7 III and a lens, and they don't want a matte box and they don't want to follow focus. They just want to go handheld, quick, run and gun, exactly. And for that, usually these teeth are quite sharp, so we rounded them off on 3 sides, on the edges and on the front, so it's easier to do a barrel pull, so like pull focus with your hands. And you can move this ring, the adaptive ring, to the top, for example. If you use a remote follow focus, you want to put it on the top, like you see a lot of people do with Blackmagic cameras, for example. You can have it up here. So you have a little bit of extra room here. So sometimes when you mount your camera a little bit askew, it might derail after a while. So you have a little bit more play in that area.
Awesome.
To keep going on the photographers versus the filmmakers, of course you have 95mm standard thread on all the lenses for your matte box, but in here there's an 86mm for filters, so you can just put in a filter in here.
So you're still not at the weird, huge 103 numbers.
No, we try to keep it a little bit lower, also to keep the price point a little bit lower.
Okay, now one last thing. I can see here there's hoods, but there's no threads.
That's correct, I'll show you. So there's this thing called the magnetic mounting system. So this will just pop on. So if you don't want a matte box, for example, but you do want some control over your incoming light, you can just pop this on and pop it off.
I'm genuinely impressed.
Thank you very much. So this is the first of many accessories we're going to make in this MMS, like the magnetic mounting system series.
Okay, and I just noticed here there's a little warning. It says lens hood is equipped with magnetic lock system.
Yeah, so the moment you purchase it, it will be delivered like this, upside down. But say you put it in your case like this and you want to lift it up, it's for people to think like, oh yeah, I shouldn't pull this up on here. It's just like an extra accessory. So
Yeah, it's a new mindset.
Exactly. Yeah. Be careful with that.
All right, cool. So I see here 11, 45, 150. I'm personally missing like, a 24 and an 85. Do we have anything in the roadmap?
Yeah, I can imagine that this in a box wouldn't be your standard case. No. So we're really working really hard on this. We have the 150 and 11mm. For me, for example, the 11 is something you'd find in a rental place because it's quite an extreme lens. If it covers a full frame sensor and it's rectilinear, so it's not like a fisheye. It's quite a special lens. Like not everybody would have that in their case. Same for the 150 1:1. Well, for me, actually, that's a lens as a DP I'd own myself. I would like to have that, like for an interview, for B-roll, making product shots. It's a really cool lens to have, both on Super 35 and full frame. And for me, these two are special. The 45 is the first in like your standard case of could replace.
This is the beginning of what most people would start to own.
Exactly, yeah. So we're working really hard now on the next lens in between here. There's going to be something else in between here, and there's going to be something on this side as well in the near future. So the 150 is available already in Europe and in the US. The 11 will be available in 2 weeks. Okay. And the 45 will hopefully be available before the end of the year, and they all come in each for around $1,200.
Okay, so that's a lot more affordable than what we're used to seeing with Cine-grade lenses.
Definitely. If you look at a 45 with this speed, they usually come in much higher prices.
Awesome. Well, we're excited to see you guys get it out there. We're really excited about what you have here. Thank you so much for showing us these lenses. We're really excited to see them get out into the market. I'm Adam Frimmer here from DIYPhotography.net. This was Joost at the Irix booth at PPE 2019. We're going to continue walking the booths for some more content. Don't forget, we're also giving away a few goodies, so make sure you read more about that in the description below.